Hello, this is Arturelia Gaming Room Reviews. I'm Arturo, and today I'll be reviewing Final Fantasy VII Remake. To be honest, I have never played the original Final Fantasy VII. Yes, most of the clones are usually upset that I did not jump to the original. Instead of going to that, I jumped to the remake. And clone number 2, he's really bad.
Yeah, well, that's disgusting.
But anyways, yes, I have never played the original, and this was actually the first time I jumped into the Final Fantasy VII universe and its story. So I just recently beat it, and what do I think about Final Fantasy VII, the remake? It was very hyped when it was revealed at E3 a few years ago. So now, I'm going to review it for all of you. Is it worth the play, or does it lack what the original had, or does it improve from the original? Let's go.
Get down here, Merc.
Now, if you've already played the original Final Fantasy VII, then you know how the story will play out. But if you're like me that started playing this game without any knowledge of the original, well, in some aspects I kind of knew what it was about, but not really at the same time, then I'll just go ahead and explain the plot.
We follow our characters in a big city called Midgar. A group called Avalanche is trying to destroy these reactors due to it harming the planet, as most people don't know what the heck is going on with these reactors and what it's actually doing. Avalanche knows the truth. We follow this group as they storm one of the reactors, and this is where we meet, the characters Barrett and Cloud. You play as Cloud, a mercenary only doing the job to get paid. And that's usually how he feels about most of the stuff in this game. He's there for work, and that's it.
Though Cloud is mostly, let's just say he can be cold-hearted, but also has he's socially awkward in some regards.
However, as the story progresses, there's things about Cloud that we don't fully know yet. And a mysterious man by the name of Sephiroth, who seems to cause problems for Cloud. But not just Cloud, everything else. We will soon have a full-on story of Avalanche, their leader Barrett, along with the 3 other characters, Tifa, and their goals to stop Shinra. Then Aerith joins in.
Tifa she's a badass. She cares for others, and she wants to try to help Cloud. But also she has a close relationship with Cloud. But on top of that, she helps Avalanche. And Aerith, my gosh, she is something else. Very hyper, very charming, also cheerful, relaxed, and not even the type of girl that's usually scared of stuff. She's an out there character that believes in doing the right thing. Barrett believes he is doing something right for the world, protecting the planet before it's destroyed by, humanity itself. And on top of that, he has his charming moments that make me laugh.
Another day, another struggle. Climbing stairs, so much trouble. All these stairs ever gonna end. We gotta keep moving to keep moving.
Then later Red appears, though we get him near the last part of the game, so there's still more to know about him. But if you play the original, then you understand.
These characters will come together to see the truth in something far worse than what Shinra is doing to the planet. So I will say this, I enjoyed the story, with its character development, nice cutscenes, etc., etc. Besides the 5 main characters that we are usually going to be shown throughout the game, or at least we get more screen time with these characters and their backstory. The side characters are interesting, but at least 2 of them don't get much of a backstory. Maybe more of their personality, but not enough to understand, what they did before all this. The only backstory we actually fully get with one of them is Jessie, with her parents and what she wanted to do for a career. And on top of all that, she's just an adventurous type. But there are points where I noticed tiny plot holes. There are a few issues here and there. I mean, it's not enough to ruin anything plot-wise. It's just a little bit like, okay, issue there. I don't want to go into much detail, but if you want to hear me rant about that a little bit, you could check the podcast that we did for the remake right here on the card. And not to mention the one scene with Cloud. Yeah.
Please don't. Not a word.
Not even one?
No!
But you're so pretty.
The soundtrack in this game is really nice, and obviously a remake of the original soundtrack from the original game.
Now, I haven't listened to all the soundtracks besides the iconic ones in the original Final Fantasy VII game. I will say, though, I really felt the rhythm in each song that played in this game.
However, though, the downside of this game is it's only part 1. It's not even the full game. See, the original had 4 discs or so. This, just part 1. And there's still more, there's still more to explore into the plot. So, don't expect it to have a full conclusion. As for the gameplay, it's really fun. It's simple to play.
And the tutorials are spot on. You could breeze through them and understand how to fight. It's not overwhelming, to put it simply.
I actually prefer these type of RPG gameplay mechanics. The action and combat is really smooth. As for the gameplay mechanics, everything is all good. Controls are fine. The menu offers, well, not much except for, load, new, etc. But in-game it offers a lot. When you press pause, you have a bunch of inventory, materia, upgrades to add to your weapons as well. I will say though, in one of my Tales of reviews, I have an issue. It's my least favorite of the genre. In the Tales of game, you usually have to upgrade, add new stuff, blah blah blah, items to be more, leveled up. And that just felt like a grind. That's like my least favorite thing of that series, or any other RPG series. However though, Final Fantasy VII Remake, it never felt like a drag, to be honest. Like I said, usually these are my least favorite things in RPG games. Yet this type of mechanic didn't bother me.
On top of that, if you want to level up your weapon, you do need to go to this place called upgrading. You click that for each weapon. You could upgrade from every sort of skill for your weapon, which will really help in the long run, including adding more slots for your weapons to add material to.
Set things up and you're done. Upgrade your MP, HP, yada yada yada. Even your attack abilities and magic. All simple to set up. And on top of that, you can get different swords to add more materia in if they have more slots, or you could just upgrade them. But to be honest, I only stuck with one sword throughout the whole game until the end, and I switched to another sword which had more abilities and yada yada yada. The materia in this game do come in handy, especially with the magic, and also assessing your enemies, healing, and other abilities. The camera is good, but depending on the battle situations, if you're near a corner, tight spaces, then yeah, the camera can get a little, tight or slightly crazy. The game looks beautiful, along with the character designs, even the environments, except... Now, I usually don't mention this a lot in my reviews or game reviews, but I know in this game there are some texture pop-ups, which you're going to notice, but it doesn't ruin the game. To me, it doesn't. These are minor issues, they don't ruin the game. Still is a nice looking game, especially the city of Midgar. Cool part about this game is that you can switch to different characters during battle. If one is in trouble or down for the count, you can switch to the other character and bring them back to life. Or you could just use that character throughout the whole battle. You could even switch to what party leader you can play as soon as the battle starts.
you could literally add certain attacks to your shortcuts, which make it a bit easier to just press the button and attack. Or you could do it the simple way, just freeze time and then attack. You usually have to click on command to do that. You even put the items in the shortcuts as well. So there is that.
Also for materia, you can look around the environment and you will be finding materia, which I would highly advise looking for. If you want to find anything and everything, you will be exploring a lot, and there's a ton to do. It will take up most of the game hours. The other part that would take up time is quests. During certain points or chapters, when you do these quests, Cloud will get more famous in the slums.
I will say this though, doing the quests, it's worth it because you would end up getting some rewards, more items, or maybe a materia. Even weapons as well. So especially if you try to complete all the quests if possible. Sometimes it's a bit hard to figure out where to go, at least when I was doing one of the quests and several chapters in. You will obviously be doing a lot of exploring when you're doing these quests. You'll have to be going from different place to different place to finish these tasks. And that really takes up a lot of time, especially when you want to head on to the story. Now you have the option to actually do that if you want.
And then there's obviously this kid who makes materia. If you do some of the quests for him, he'll make more material for you. You'll be able to help out with anyone's issues in the game. These are more filler stuff than anything, but it does make the main character shine with their personality and how they act with these different situations. Sometimes you get these words to choose for a conversation, which changes some aspect of the gameplay. Just a little bit, different clothes and stuff, or added stuff. Now, as for replay value, you can select the chapters again and maybe do quests that you weren't able to do the first time around, or find other items or materia. I found most of them, but I'm pretty sure I'm missing a few. I know there was one I couldn't get to because I didn't feel like trying. And there was also one quest with this kid. Yeah. So who knows, I might hop back on again and try to see what the difference is for replaying it again and trying to collect everything. But on top of that, when you do replay it again, you have everything. Your level, and yeah, every upgrade, every sword, every item, you have it all as soon as you replay it again. And on top of that, it's cool. You get to select a chapter you want to replay or visit again.
Alright!
Final Fantasy VII Remake. This is actually the first Final Fantasy game that I've ever played through beginning to end and finished it. While I have played, let's say, well, a little bit of Final Fantasy X a while back, then I lost that game. Was playing Final Fantasy VIII, hadn't finished it yet. So yeah, this is technically the first one I completed. What do I actually fully think about this game as a whole? I think it's a great game. There are a few things about it that are minor, but on top of that, it isn't the full conclusion of the story. It's only part of the story. There's still more of this journey to follow. Now, if you played the original, you know what's going to happen. It may have some stuff that people may not like about it, but overall, I think it is a great game, and it was fun. I really enjoyed it. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I highly recommend if you're a fan of Final Fantasy VII or just the series. I do think, yes, it improves a lot with character designs or character, personality, unlike the original from what I've seen. As for my recommendation, obviously, yeah, there's the spin-offs and also the original. Though now I'm hearing that they're not really canon to this series anymore, well, at least the remake. But these are at least some of the Final Fantasy VII games I could recommend of the universe. Until then, there's also part 2 and the other parts to come. Well, this is Arturelia Gaming Room Reviews, signing off.
Well, Cloud, the saying goes, well, I don't know what type of saying, but sometimes you need to let your pals be alone with the other pals they have.
Damn, Biggs.
In my military experience, that's how it went.
Tight.
You just gotta live with it. You know what I'm saying?